Hey, welcome to Jofer Jeff. I'm Jeff, and I just saw the greatest movie of the year. It's called Tales of Halloween, and it's coming out this Halloween, and you must go out and see this movie the first chance you get. I was a big fan of Trick or Treat from 2007, and that movie had been stuck in development hell forever. It sat on a shelf. You'd know about the movie, but there was no way to watch it, and it was supposed to be hit the theaters, but it never did. So what they ended up doing is dumping it on a home video. And that's probably one of the greatest Halloween movies ever. That's the one with Sam, the little trick-or-treater with the sack on his head. I love that movie. And this movie reminded me of how much I love Trick or Treat, because I love this movie just as much. I took notes just so how awesome this movie is. Okay, so what it is, it's about 10 stories about Halloween. They don't really interact with each other, but they're kind of acknowledged at the final story. First one is about a monster called Sweet Tooth. A little boy is eating his trick-or-treat candy, and his babysitter and her boyfriend warn him about Sweet Tooth, who was this kid who killed his parents because they stole his Halloween candy. And if you don't leave him an offering of your candy, and you eat it all instead, he'll take it from you and take whatever you've eaten. Needless to say, things go badly. The next one is a real Halloween prank. And it's about a little boy who tries to prank his neighbor. And his neighbor actually shows him an actual Halloween prank. And it goes quite like you'd think. The third one is the Trick-or-Treater's Revenge. This is about a family. They're sitting down watching a movie, Night of the Living Dead. Night of the Living Dead shows up a lot in this movie. Anyway, they're attacked by a bunch of kids with knives. It doesn't end how you think it will, and that's what's awesome about it. Next one is bullies. Group of bullies are confronted by this one kid, and they chase him down, and he's trying to conjure a demon. It's awesome. Then there's one of the weaker stories. It's about this ghost that stalks you on Halloween night. Really forgettable. It's like 10 minutes long. And it's got like one jump scare in it, and that's it. Next one was Jack and Bobby. It's about this one couple. Apparently the woman is a witch of some sort. They're kind of like Hansel and Gretel. It's pretty stupid too. Next one is a shorter story. It's about these two neighbors who put up Halloween decorations right across the street from each other. And they're kind of in competition. One of them does the more traditional route. The other one does this like gore and heavy metal type thing. They get into a huge fight. Everything goes downhill. That was funny. Okay, next one is Friday the 31st. What starts off as a slasher movie homage turns into like an Evil Dead homage. And that was one of the coolest parts of the story. It's funny. Not scary. It's bloody, but it's funny. In fact, the killer, who's kind of a takeoff of Jason, goes into his cabin, and he's got a copy of the Necronomicon on the shelf. Number 9 is kidnapping gone wrong. These two men try to kidnap a millionaire's son, and they get more than they bargained for. And then the final story is about a jack-o'-lantern that comes to life and starts eating people. I'm not kidding. That's what it's really about. And in that final story, they start acknowledging the other stories. A lot of cameos, a lot of guest stars. I took notes again. Alright, Tiffany Sheepus is in it. Adrienne Curry shows up as herself. She's in the Halloween prank one. She gets her car stolen, and they get her autograph while they steal her car. Barry Bostwick's in it. Felicia Rose from Sleepaway Camp. I counted her twice in it. Same character, just she showed up in 2 different stories. And Adrienne Barbeau is in it as the DJ. You'll hear her on the radio some points during the movie. Kind of a nice nod to her role in The Fog. Before I spoil any stories, okay, go see this movie. It's the greatest Halloween story I've ever seen. I would put this and Trick or Treat like right next to each other and watch them all at once. It was really that good. Obviously, a lot of humor. They had a lot of fun with this. Well acted. Serena Vincent shows up in it. I love Serena Vincent. Marry me. But when this comes out, you have to track it down, you have to watch it. It's going to be a new Halloween classic, and you're going to want it for your collection. I'm already going to put out a spot for it on my selection. So, now I'll spoil the ending. Alright, so Sweet Tooth is about the kid who gets told a story that turns out to be true. Yeah, Sweet Tooth shows up, kills his babysitter, kills her boyfriend, but the kid leaves out an offering of candy, so it takes it. Meanwhile, he goes downstairs, finds his babysitter and her boyfriend, but then the parents walk in and the kid's like, they ate my candy, so they think he's Sweet Tooth, basically. The real Halloween fun prank is one of the funnier ones. The old guy who doesn't celebrate Halloween, they try to trick him, and the kid gets taken into the house, and the guy says, I'm going to teach you a real Halloween prank. And he takes off his hat, and he's got like horns, so he's like a devil. And the next thing you know, it's like him and the little kid in a costume. They go out, and they're like robbing liquor stores, they're shooting people. Oh my God, they're stealing cars, they're running over people, they're tagging houses with graffiti. And finally, at the end, he walks back into the house, and you see the little kid is tied to the chair. And it turns out that the kid in the costume is actually a little demon kid. And they untie the kid, and they say, and he's like, I thought you were going to show me a real Halloween prank. Oh, I am. You're going to get a lot of visitors tonight. And he shoves the kid out the door, where he's confronted by about 40 cops, who all blame him for the shooting and everything. So that's how that one ends. Bullies. That's the one with the BMX biker gang. Turns out these 3 kids burned down a trailer, killed this one kid's parents. He's the one who confronts him in the alley. They chase him down. They chase him right to where his parents died. And it turns out he'd summoned a demon for revenge. And it shows up and kills him. It's a quick story, but it's really good. Lynn Shay is in this next one. She's holding a Halloween party. She tells the story of this one ghost that will like stalk you and take your eyes and something like that. It's really not scary. It's just basically a girl drives home from the party. The car breaks down. She walks home. She thinks she's being followed. She gets home. Everything's fine. She's sitting on the couch. The dog suddenly runs out of the room. She's like, what's wrong? And then, boom, ghost sitting next to her. Jump scare. That's the entire story, so I'd pass on that one. Jack and Bobby, that's the Hansel and Gretel one. That's the really stupid one. Basically, this couple, she's a witch. He's like Hansel, I guess. I don't know. They lose their child. Their child dies. She's upset about it. Next year, she tries to put on a happy face, but she still wants a child. He tells her, I don't think you should have a child. You're evil. And I had a vasectomy. She tosses him in the oven, and then she melts. It makes no sense. It's not really entertaining. I'd skip that one too. Neighbors. Okay, this is the ones with the Halloween competition. And they have Dana Gould plays the one who does the traditional ghosts and tombstones. And they got the guy with long hair. He likes heavy metal. And they do it all like gore, goth metal type things, and they're really loud, and there's kind of competition going on. Well, those two end up in a fight, a fist fight, and a crowd gathers and is cheering them on, and basically they both die. The nice neighbor tackles the other neighbor, they impale each other on a stick, and that's the end of the movie. It was funny. It's not a quick movie though. Okay, Friday the 31st. This one is a girl dressed as Dorothy. She's running through the woods from a Jason type killer. He chases her into a cabin where all her friends are dead. She runs out the other door. He comes up from behind her with a spear, throws it, kills her. He walks up to the body, and this is where it switches around. An alien ship shows up, right? And then it beams down this little tiny claymation, like alien, with a little basket going trick or treat. And he stomps on it because he doesn't have any candy. Well, it crawls into the girl and possesses her, a la Evil Dead. So then she starts chasing the Jason killer, and he ends up in the cabin with a chainsaw, of course. Yeah. And then it goes totally Evil Dead. They start cutting off limbs of each other and hacking each other, and they basically cut off each other's heads. And then you see the bodies on the ground, and then the creature comes back out of the girl, says trick or treat, grabs the head, and then gets beamed up back to the ship. That was so much fun. I laughed myself hysterically watching that one. The next one's really funny too. John Landis is in this one. It's about two guys who are going to kidnap a millionaire's son. So they wait for the millionaire to let his son go out trick-or-treating. Then they grab him. And he's got his mask on and everything. And they tie him to a chair in their warehouse. They call the guy and say, "I've got your son." He's like, "You have no idea what you've done. Don't call me anymore." And then they hang up. Bottom line is, it's not a kid. It's a, like, goblin. And he's basically been tormenting that millionaire for like 5 years. He just won't go away. And the kidnappers are now his new parents. And if you don't feed him, he'll start eating you. And they try to escape. They try to get rid of him, but they can't. It ends funny. Okay, last one is the Killer Jack-o'-lantern story. This is about a couple, Serena Vincent. Her husband is making jack-o'-lanterns. He carves up a good one. He's cleaning up the mess. The pumpkin comes alive and bites his head off. And the police come. His wife is like, "It was a pumpkin," and they're like, "What the hell?" Anyway, this pumpkin gets out of the house through the doggy door, and sits on a porch. This little kid comes up to take candy. It eats him. Takes place to this cop is trying to track down the killer pumpkin. They finally find it. It gets the drop on her, but her partner comes up with a shotgun. She blows it up, and then she sees that it's a super pumpkin by this one genetic company. And the ending shot is they go to the genetic company and they want to see the pumpkins, and there are literally millions of the pumpkins in this building. End of movie. Awesome movie. I can't say awesome enough. There are no stars I could give it that would do it justice. It's such a great movie. I had a great time. You should check this movie out. So, please like and subscribe, and if you have any comments, please leave them below. Thanks for watching.